It's been a while, folks, but yeah, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about one of the gods of movie making, Quentin Tarantino. Enjoy. All right. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
It's been a while since our,
Yee. Our Yee podcast.
And today we're talking Tarantino. So I'm just going to ask some questions.
That's a bingo.
I'm going to ask some questions. And this one I know a lot more about, so I'll be joining in a little bit more than the last podcast. So let's just get into it because it's late. We're tired. Number one, just give me your top 3 Tarantino movies. If you want to give me a reason why, that's cool. I don't care who goes first. Just let me know what your top 3 are in your opinion.
Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Jackie Brown.
Yeah, for me, it's Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Reservoir Dogs.
I got the 2 KBs and Inglourious in my top 3.
I would say, for me, Jackie Brown and Pulp Fiction are damn near tied, but I have to give the edge to Pulp just for being first and its impact. And I guess it...
What do you mean by impact?
I mean, that movie changed mainstream cinema in the 90s.
Okay.
And you still feel the effects of it to this day.
Yeah.
Many people, I mean, Pulp Fiction in particular started almost its own genre in the 90s, where it was all like movies, 2 Days in the Valley, Go. What are some other trash ones? Well, Robert Rodriguez is good, though, and that was his boy.
Hey, they're best friends.
It's that same kind of like indie sensibility, though. It's like
Trying to mix the dark humor with like violence and all of them practically sucked. The Guy Ritchie, I don't think he would exist.
oh yeah,
So yeah, Pulp was a big thing. Pulp was probably one of the, whether you like it or hate it, one of the top 5 quintessential 90s movies.
And you had Jackie Brown and what else?
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir, okay.
That's number 3.
So why Jackie Brown?
Jackie Brown, it's no secret, Tarantino homages, to a degree. Some people accuse as thievery.
You need blaxploitation.
Yeah, for me, Jackie Brown it's 2 things. He's homaging a genre that I'm probably most familiar with. Probably why Kill Bill doesn't resonate with me as much, because I know next to nothing about martial arts films or anime and the stuff he was going for in that. Whereas Jackie Brown, I am a fan of blaxploitation films. I am a fan of Samuel L. Jackson, and he's at peak Samuel L. Jackson in that movie. It also, at the end of the day, is a hangout film. It's a chill, and I'm a big fan of those types of movies.
Okay.
Great soundtrack, too. It's the best soundtrack, also.
Like, getting a little bit off topic, but did you guys see the new Eddie Murphy movie?
Dolomite?
I watched it,
No.
actually. Yeah.
You haven't seen it yet?
I didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think?
I liked it. I didn't think it was groundbreaking or
No,
anything.
definitely not.
I think it's a little overhyped. It's definitely worth a watch. Yeah, and if you're familiar with Dolomite, with Rudy Ray Moore, Eddie Murphy did a great job. The dudes who wrote and directed that, though, they were behind People vs. Larry Flint and Ed Wood, 2 other biopics that are superior to My Name is Dolomite in almost every way. But it's far from a bad film.
I didn't enjoy Ed Wood at all.
Really?
No, not at all.
How old were you when you saw it?
Probably like 5. I don't know.
Honestly, watch it. It is something, if you're going in expecting Beetlejuice, you know what I mean? It's
I think that's why I didn't see it, because it didn't look like it looked
honestly,
different.
dude, for you, it's a story about like a has-been, or it's Bela Lugosi trying to, like, it kind of like me too, where he's he's searching for friendship, through Ed Wood, and they're kind of filling a void, but it's awkward. It's got that wrestler. I know you go for that type of style. You should watch it, dude.
washed up has-beens.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the whole story. It's more about
never achieved glory.
It's more about Bela Lugosi than it is more about Ed Wood. And Martin Landau is incredible in it. Depp was still on a roll.
Martin Landau win for that?
He did.
This is a Quentin Tarantino podcast, but yeah, he did win.
I know it's turning into a Tim Burton.
Good lord.
Martin Landau.
Okay. Yeah, stop that.
We talking about Martin Landau?
Wait, so did you have the same top 3 as him? But
We do,
in different orders?
Yeah, just in different
Okay, so can you tell me about them?
Yeah, well, mine was Pulp Fiction, then Reservoir Dogs, then Jackie Brown, and it's the order in which I saw the movies too. And it probably has a lot to do with it also. I mean, that was a director that was just so new, and the movies were so new, and experiences were so new, and I don't know. I think when I saw Jackie Brown, I do remember, and I feel like this is how I am today, kind of watching it and sitting back and thinking like, that's not what I either hoped for / expected, maybe in reverse order. Maybe that's not what I expected or hoped for, because the first two are more of these violent, gangstery type films, and Jackie Brown's
I think a lot of people
more,
had that reaction.
Much more new. Yeah, it's like a little bit more nuanced. Like you said, it's a hangout film.
And you know
it's
what?
A little bit more
I had that initially.
Relaxed. Yeah, and
I mean, we were 16, 15 when it came out, and I saw them in order as you did. I saw Pulp and Reservoir, and it's not as explosive. There's no torturing a cop, cutting off his ear scenes in it. You know, there's not as much shock.
Yeah,
there's no like shocking scene.
It's more mature, and I think with the age that I was watching these movies, I was like wanting to kind of like, or things that I had now been introduced to through Pulp Fiction. Now that's like what movies were to me at that point. And watching Reservoir Dogs, it was a pretty close, equal. It also had a really cool concept, a cool twist. It was very well done for being a first picture. But then watching Jackie Brown, it was very different. And I think had I seen it when I was older, or now even looking back on it, had I seen it for the first times, I might even say Jackie Brown. But just for that nostalgia factor, I feel like Reservoir Dogs, it's just cool. It's like a cool gangster movie. They all got colors. They've got this cool plan. It's all in one spot. There's a cool twist, hidden like mole character. Yeah. It's got cool dialogue. It's got great soundtrack. It's just an interesting, like really well done, first film. And then you got Pulp Fiction, which is just like, I mean, it's number one for me because it changed everything for me, essentially. That's what a lot of my number ones are. Whenever I think of a number one, no matter if it's a TV show, a music, movie, it's something that, like, changed me or changed the way I looked at things in some way.
Because I didn't see Reservoir or Pulp as young as you guys did, it didn't really hit me as much the first time I went back and saw it. So, like, for me, like, Kill Bill 1 and 2, Volume 1 and 2, were like, that's when I fell in love with Tarantino. Like, I loved spaghetti westerns growing up. I forgot to mention that as a genre. I loved kung fu movies, like samurai movies, and like he just hit like with all barrels. And people can like, he says, "Oh, it should have been one movie, whatever." That's bullshit. They're clearly two different movies with the same characters. And so because those were my first two, that's what resonates with me with Tarantino. I just love it.
That was the first movie. That's my number 4. Like we plotted out of 10. That's like my number 4, those two combined. And I think it's kind of like a twofold. But the one thing with that one was, it was, again, you watch Pulp Fiction, you watch Reservoir Dogs, you watch Jackie Brown, then here comes Kill Bill. Kill Bill, completely different. And I think for me, it was like, again, wow, I didn't even know what to expect. This is a person that can clearly do anything. He can clearly take any genre and make it really interesting, really cool. You have all these different things that he's already shown. Now he's doing this type, martial arts, anime, whatever. It was just really great.
And what's interesting, though? I also think time, though, kind of those reasons you said, it wasn't as in tune with Pulp, Reservoir, and Jackie. I also feel like with the passage of time, there were so many other movies in the early 2000s and mid 2000s that kind of did the like waifish white girl who's a ninja kind of stuff, to where I feel like Kill Bill doesn't even it doesn't stand out to me even as special in that regard. But I like Kill Bill. I enjoy Kill Bill. I'm a fan. But actually, it wouldn't even be my 4th, though. I think I'd put... we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
I think I had Django ahead of it, and I had... I definitely have Once Upon a Time.
It sticks as my 4th, too, because, again, back to nostalgia, it's like the first half, essentially, of his film filmography. It's got, although completely new cast, Uma Thurman still is there, kind of reminding of Pulp Fiction.
Well, you got Madsen too.
Yeah. I mean,
Madsen's there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of still to me like this first chapter in his career. The second chapter, all of these movies kind of have a similar feel to me in a way. There are a lot of these new movies have these newer actors that he likes to use, like Christoph Waltz and Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, and like all these newer actors that he continuously uses, where before he was using the same people. Now he's using this new stable of people. It's kind of like this changing of time, and I feel like that movie was an interesting, end point from there before he jumped into like these newer things that he's doing.
Okay, so like, even if you love every single movie that he's ever made,
I don't.
okay, that's good. That's good because that moves us to the next question. Bottom. What's at the bottom?
Death Proof.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once, and I'm really open to watching it again and maybe changing my mind on that because we've gone back and watched almost all of them recently, and I kind of am excited to maybe watch it again and change my mind. But I remember when I watched it, I thought, God, I hated it. Like the first time we watched it, I was so disappointed.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have preemptively jumped in there. I like all of them to a degree.
Yeah, I know you do.
Love, though, no. Actually, I don't love Death Proof. I don't love Inglourious Bastards. I don't love Hateful Eight. I don't love Kill Bill. Like maybe
not love. Yeah.
We're going all hard on copy.
And restart the podcast.
Actually, all of them are threes. It's like, well,
Restart.
What are we talking about? Why are we arguing if they're all threes?
Oh, God.
That's not a bingo.
How do you not like Inglorious?
I said I like them all.
Yeah,
I don't love
them all, but it is my least of all of them too.
Yeah.
Right there with we're with
I think the opening scene in Inglourious Bastards is incredible.
Oh, that's nuts.
I think that's one of his best opening scenes.
Nuts.
Maybe his best opening scene.
Like the French country house.
Yeah.
With
the language. And
Yeah.
he sets that up. Even later in the movie, I mean, a lot of the tension and suspense is based on language and different dialects and whatnot.
Yeah.
But that opening scene is incredible.
Beautiful. Her just running from that farmhouse, like covered in blood, just like gorgeous. Yeah. It's just amazing cinematography, like crazy. I actually don't like Reservoir. I don't like it. I found it boring. Really, really boring until the last 20 minutes. Like, I was just bored to death. Like, when is this going to end? Please, can I just stop watching this? Like, everyone tells me this is an amazing movie, but I'm already like 20, and I've seen Pulp Fiction. I've seen Jackie Brown, and I thought they were just so much better than Reservoir. Like, I just didn't get the hype at all.
Well, I mean, that film's working with a lot of limitations. I mean, even in its conception, he wrote it to take place in one setting. You know, I mean, he was working. With
that's what it looked like. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like a high school play.
What he created with those limitations is incredible.
Oh yeah,
a lot of tension. I mean,
that's a good way to. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to think of it when you have someone that's as talented as him. Look at like the most recent movie he put out, where it's like he's got everything at his disposal, every type of cinematographer, you can probably budget, whatever. That's what he's able to create. And looking back on his first film with when he had nothing, that's what he was able to create. And it's really, I mean, it's like relative, like when you look at it all. Like, what is he able to do? I think it still comes down to the stories. Is it compelling? Like you said, you were maybe not, it wasn't interesting or it was boring, but I think that's where a lot of his movies are. Is the story compelling? The scenes, the characters, like all those types of things that really are fairly gripping, and there's always great, music and stuff to go along with it, which...
If I saw it first, things would be different. Yeah. I already know it.
I saw Pulp first. But I did see them... Too. I saw Pulp, True Romance, and Reservoir Dogs, like, all within the same month or two.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Pulp Fiction. Oh, shit, let me figure out what else this guy's been involved with. Yeah. I do want to add, are we going to get into the N-word discussion with Tarantino? Because I have some stuff on Reservoir Dogs.
That's actually number 4 on my list.
This is a tasty burger.
So, yeah, the N-word.
Because I will say, I have had more than one black friend in my life tell me, and my one friend, this was his specific quote about Reservoir Dogs. He said that, nah, people in the hood don't fuck with that movie. And I found it so interesting. Because,
and it's very true.
Yeah, and I found it interesting because he was a movie guy. I mean, that's what him and I still talk to him. He's a good friend of mine. like I was like, well, what about Pulp Fiction? You know, like there's a whole, it's thrown around in there. Basically his entire filmography, it's thrown around. But what is it about Reservoir Dogs that was different than Pulp Fiction and all that?
I'll tell you exactly what.
Yeah, please.
It's all white people.
Yep. Yeah.
It's all white people. There's no Sam L in there to kind of like.
I would argue there is one black character in that movie, though, and I guess he's the only person who does not die. Yeah,
major
not
character.
one of the yes.
Yes.
Okay.
He's not one of the colors. So
Got you.
yes, that doesn't count. In the black community, that doesn't count. Right. Once he started bringing Sam L in, then it gave him some credibility, and he could get away with it a lot more. But my question was, how far do you think a white director can go with the N-word?
First, I will preemptively say, I would never tell anyone how to feel about that word, especially a black. As a white man, that is not my place. I can't tell anyone how to feel about that word. I can only speak on how I feel it is used in Tarantino movies, and to get to your question, like with other directors. For me, context is everything. Contextually in his films, it doesn't bother me. Now, that's just me personally, and I am white and a guy.
And I will say that, I'm a black man, and I'm talking to two white men. So of course that word doesn't really hit you as hard as it will hit me. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I can only speak on how it affects me in his films, But at the same point, the flip side of that, though, if I was watching Birth of a Nation or something, I would be fucking offended. Like, I wouldn't. If Christopher Nolan just started dropping the N-word in the middle of Inception or something, you know what I mean? For no reason, I would be. But my whole point with context, and specifically with Tarantino, if you watch his films are always characters. They're always character-driven. They're always. All of his characters are always equal in his movies. Like, there's never... I know this sounds really corny and, all lives matter type bullshit, but, like, all of his characters are really equal. It's a fictional world, so I can't say this. All of his characters are written with the same care as each other. And another interesting thing in Pulp Fiction, when I had this discussion before, somebody pointed out to me, and I'd grown up on it. I'd watched that movie for 25 years, never even thought about it until this person said that Mia Wallace and Marcellus Wallace is a mixed marriage.
Yeah,
I never even fucking thought about that. It's not an issue. In Jackie Brown's case, the whole damn movie is a tribute to blaxploitation flicks. It's a tribute to Pam Grier. You know what I mean? It's a tribute to. I mean, even Sid Haig has a cameo in that.
I think. He has these certain fetishes.
Definitely, all directors do. Any artist.
But the one that the black community hates the most is his fetish with the N-word.
Oh, of course.
Like he has to find a reason to throw it in there somewhere in every freaking movie.
I think that's how his characters talk. But like I said, I'm not going to argue that. That's just.
That's what it looks like from the black side of things.
Oh, and I can
like he'll find, even if there's no reason to use it, he will find a reason to throw it in there.
But that's how do you legislate that though?
Yeah. You can't. There's no reason. You can't.
There's no reason to throw any word in anything, and I just feel like that's a weird.
You can't at all. But when you know the context of that word, do you really have to use it in every single movie you make? Every single movie.
But the context within the feature in a fictional world. If Tarantino was out here in interviews saying that shit, yeah, fuck him. He would need to be jacked or But I mean, I feel like in a fictional universe, and like you said, with Samuel L. Jackson, with Ving Rhames, he took an Elmore Leonard novel, which Jackie Brown was based on Rum Punch, an all-white novel. And he followed up Pulp Fiction, this huge sensational movie he turned it black. And he casts a female as the main character, a black female in her mid-40s. Name me another movie that has done that since.
I have actually zero problems with him using that word in his movies. At all.
Oh, I know.
But I'm telling you what's my people are trying to say.
I know, and I'm getting a little knee-jerk on there's been a lot of recent stuff, like just throwing like he's a racist, and he's racist. And I mean, I think...
we're getting into that big time.
Okay.
I mean, we're going there. How do you feel about the N-word in these movies? you haven't said anything.
I know, I was waiting. There was a good flow going. I didn't want to, just jump in and interject, because I think a lot of what Russ saying, I kind of agree with too, and I think... repeat the question again. Say it one more time, because I think...
How far do you think
how far, right. That's how you worded it. How far. I don't think we should ever... I don't know. I don't think you could say, like, a female director can't direct like a story about a man, or a man director shouldn't direct about a woman, or this experience can't be directed by this person or whatever, unless to the point where it's not tastefully done. I mean, you have someone that has to obviously do their research, and like Russ mentioned, put it in it's got to be in like a certain context. But I don't think that anybody should be censored as far as what they're able to do. Now, whether or not it's good, that's another story, and probably the person that knows more about that subject should be the one that's maybe doing the directing, and maybe would be doing a better job of it, rather than the person that's never lived through whatever that experience is that they're directing.
And I'd add, if you don't enjoy it, like if you feel uncomfortable with Reservoir Dogs, don't watch it. I would never sit there.
Yeah.
I would never argue someone who would like feel a certain way about that and say like, no, because contextually it doesn't bother me. You're wrong, and Tarantino is that good. You have to watch his movies. Like, I think
if you're going to be a person that's going to write a movie and direct a movie, like write and direct a movie like Django Unchained, being a white person, I think you've got to clearly be going for historical accuracy. You've got to do your research. You've got to really, they're obviously, that word is being said in that time to those people throughout, like it's common language and conversation. Like us growing up, we only know of that time, we only know of that word, but obviously anyone that says that, not okay. Back then, it's like in conversation, and I feel like that's what he's trying to depict. But again, in the hands of a lesser person, it probably would have been sloppily done, and probably even more so needed the controversy and everything else. But I think, again, I'm not, like Russ was mentioning, I don't think us never living through that experience, or us not being that background or whatever, we'll never feel that, but I think from an objective, I like movies standpoint, and I appreciate this director standpoint. I think what he has done, I think it fits. And like you mentioned, you're talking about Reservoir Dogs and that situation too. And I think kind of what you were saying, Russ, where this is a world, this is how his characters talk. I think, did he need to put that in there? I don't know that anyone, like you said, needs to do anything, but I think it did tell me something about that character in that car when they were having that conversation and they used that word. I think it made me see who that person was, what they felt, how they would have a conversation. And it made me realize, like there are plenty of people in real life, white people, that will just talk to, like I've definitely had conversations, well, I wouldn't say conversations, people that have talked to me, that will just start saying racist things. Like it's nothing.
That probably happens to me more than
I walk. It's the beard. It's the freaking beard.
It's like, it's like, people think it's common. Like this makes sense.
I've
that
had
we
people
should be
think I'm
having
a
this
Trump
conversation,
voter, dude.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like in this movie, that is what that's telling me about that person. That's the person that even if no one else in that car felt that way or was racist, that's the person that is that guy.
So
and I
also think I also think there's a difference between like racial and racist. Is it racial, like racially charged dialogue? Yes, dude. Like, I don't feel. If anything, I would say Quentin Tarantino is enamored with what he perceives as black culture.
Correct.
Which is pop black culture, which is through the lens of films and music. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of similar to that. And I think I have a kinship with him in that. It's the same thing. Of course, I don't think he's out here trying to claim blackness in a way. I don't think he's doing it.
You don't really?
No, I think he is a fanboy of black culture.
Okay. I see it.
Like you could say it's ignorant in the sense of true ignorance.
It is very
but
ignorant.
I don't think it like ill intention. You know what I mean? I don't think it's hatred. I don't think it's negative. I just think he's a geek.
I don't think you can see what he's done for Samuel L. Jackson's career and say that he hates black people, because he vaulted him to a level that is ridiculous these days. Like, if it wasn't for Tarantino, he wouldn't be where he is right now at all. So I have no qualms about saying that Tarantino is not a racist person. What I have a problem with, and what I'm trying to speak to from the black community, is that he kind of just goes overboard a little bit with the N-word.
But I mean, I also, he goes overboard with violence. He goes overboard with dark comedy.
But this is America. We're not living in Sweden. We're not living in Japan.
And it does.
There's a lot of connotations when it comes to that word here.
Yeah. Well, let me ask a question.
Sure.
Unless I am incorrect, I believe Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the first film that did not use the N-word.
It is, and Lindsay said it. Lindsay told us. Yeah, when? Lindsay told me.
Yeah. And I was wondering, do you think... Because honestly, contextually, in that universe of that film, it wouldn't have really made sense. You're in Hollywood with elites and white people and all this and hippie. Like, it wouldn't have made sense to be in there, so he didn't throw it in there. But I'm wondering, is he paying attention to that criticism? And
finally, I think.
Was this kind of like, all right, I hear you guys.
Did he say the C word when it came to Bruce Lee?
I don't think so.
No? Yeah, I think he's aware. He's aware of what's going on.
He wouldn't disrespect Bruce Lee. Get the fuck, not. I know his daughter or his granddaughter, whoever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about I don't think he would.
Okay.
Do that.
Okay, I think we've done like 20 minutes on the N-word, so we can move on. Oh, God. Okay, so number 5, Uman Weinstein.
Cute couple.
That's not even funny.
Like him.
As you
They call it Royale with
Oh my God.
Say what again? Say what again?
Dude walked into the courthouse last week.
He's all crippled.
What is this? Where are you going with it?
He walked into the courthouse with that 90-year-old person thing. And I'm like, what? No, you're a monster. Like, what are you doing?
Can I say one thing about the people who try to link Tarantino in with Weinstein, and after that the Me Too stuff started happening, which of course is a great thing and needs to happen, and fuck Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, really fuck him.
Of course. But when people were trying to link Tarantino and bringing up the Uma Thurman car crash on Kill Bill, which was an accident, and Tarantino even tried that, he tested it out first. Uma Thurman and him, they're fine. Him choking Diane Kruger for the shot in Inglourious Bastards. Diane Kruger has come out in his defense. They're trying to cancel him.
He choked them both out. And they both were Uma Thurman said, I want to be, I want it to look real. Yeah, I don't want it to look, I want it to look like I'm an actress. I want it to look real.
Exactly. I respect Uma Thurman for that. I wouldn't trivialize Uma Thurman. To me, that's disrespectful to her.
Yeah.
She's a victim in something. No, she's an artist. She's a fucking performer. But anyway, to get back to what I'm saying, trying to lump him in with Weinstein, I look at it I work at University of Delaware at a copy and print center. If my if my boss was molesting or, assaulting women, I wouldn't fucking know. You know what I mean? Or I wouldn't, what would anyone, what do people expect him to do in that situation? You know what I mean? If
do you really think, but this is the
he did confront him on it.
This is a cynical part of me. Yeah.
Him and Brad Pitt, I read, were the only two people who ever confronted Weinstein about that
they clearly knew something was happening.
I know. Did you know? Because he was dating Mira Sorvino at the time.
Yep.
And when he found out what Weinstein did to her, he was like, "You got to fucking apologize to her right to her face in front of me. If not, I am taking Kill Bill elsewhere." Because this was right after he was still,
Miramax. Oh, big time Miramax. Oh, yeah.
Shit, he was the.
But do you think he went far enough? Because I don't think he did.
Yeah,
I don't think he took it far enough.
Who's the judge when you're in that situation?
He's a multi-millionaire, huge Hollywood director.
We don't know what he knew, what he doesn't.
Come on now. We can't be that naive.
I don't know.
You can't be that naive.
Naive, then what does he know? Tell me exactly what he knows.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So we're basing it all on
This is the skeptic in me.
Of course, but I hear you.
But I think he knew more than he let on.
I mean, possibly, but I can't fault a man for hypotheticals. You know, what I have read about it all, I'd say, wow, him and Brad Pitt, compared to everyone else, at least did something similar. And no, I think, you know, like psychologically, I do think a lot of people bow down to authority in ways. You know, they do tests on this.
I mean, he was like
everyone says that kind of stuff, but when they're in situations like that,
yeah, you freeze up.
Yeah,
you go crazy.
What I mean? Or maybe hey, I'm just gonna. This man sucks. I'm gonna deal with the devil because I'm doing what I love. This is my art, and he's giving me free checks to do what I want. It doesn't excuse it. You know,
I just wish he did more. Is what I'm saying. I wish he did more.
No, I'm with you there. Wish, yeah. But dude, we could say that about anything. You know, we all.
No, there's a lot of good people in the world. A lot of amazing.
All the time.
No. But you're not watching. You're not watching people get molested.
No,
and shit.
But of course. Well, who the fuck's saying he watched? Like, this is what I'm talking about.
Watch. When I say watch, I mean he heard the rumors. He heard the rumors.
In Hollywood did, you know.
That's what I'm saying. I just wish he did more. There's a lot of people in the world that have never heard someone being molested.
But to me, that's an odd thing. That's an odd thing to talk about in a Tarantino case, which I could say that about any molestation or accusation case. Like, I wish someone was there to do more to help that victim in that situation.
Of course, you know. But he's
so, like, to say it's specific to him.
No. What I'm saying though is he was in a very special place, very powerful place.
Damn it, Terrence! I love Harvey Weinstein.
Stop defending Tarantino and Weinstein.
Stop defending abuse.
What are you doing?
Hashtag not me.
All right. You have any thoughts, Matt?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel the same in a way. It's like I was trying to think of another scenario where, like, how to explain my thoughts. Like, if you overheard that somebody was messing around, but you didn't know, like, to what degree it was, or what these women, what their involvement was. I mean, at what point do you feel compelled to go to the police, especially if it is someone that you have had a business relationship for a long time and maybe never could imagine that they would have done that, and maybe these rumors are just...
And also made you.
And maybe and maybe in your opinion, these rumors are exaggerated because you don't know anything. I mean...
If he walked in on it and did nothing, I'd say fuck him.
And I think also too, which is unfortunate probably, when you said, you know, everyone heard those rumors, I think in that, when you're in that rationale where everyone has heard this but no one has done anything, then maybe these rumors are just rumors and they're not true, or else someone someone would have come forward. If not, you know, in your own mind, maybe that's what someone could think. I don't know. It's really hard.
But these are young girls trying to make it in Hollywood.
Yeah, no.
And they're scared. He's a super powerful man.
Yeah.
And
no one's condoning Harvey Weinstein's actions.
No, I'm saying like there's clearly a system in place where you kept your mouth shut or you didn't get your movie.
Money is power. That was it. Money is everything. You know.
And whether he was in on it or not, he was part of that. He's a part of that system. He still is.
Either by complacency, by not saying anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, again, that kind of falls back. That's a weird line to draw. Like, where do we judge people on what they don't do? You know what I mean? Like, it's. If I
hated the man because he didn't come forward fast enough or say something fast enough, I wouldn't watch his movies anymore. That's not what I'm trying to say. I just wish. Yeah. Again, wish. Yeah, wish he would do more.
We're taking this shit way too literally.
Yeah. All right. So I have a friend who asked me about Tarantino, and she said, I think without the music, like, his movies are garbage. Like, if you take away those amazing soundtracks that he throws in there, what would you think about his movies?
You could say that about any movie.
Yes, but there's crazy old Chinese
alternate songs that are just like
alternate songs that are just whatever. There's crazy old Japanese and Chinese movies that I love. No music.
Oh yeah. But I mean, how common is that in today's, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that's one of his gifts, is figuring out the soundtrack.
The perfect soundtrack.
I think that's a gift that not every filmmaker has, and the ones that do, whether it's finding the right art or composer to write the right piece or to pick these old classic songs. I mean, he just knows what he's going for. He knows his style. He knows his feeling. He knows that these are the songs that will connect, and they usually do. I mean, some of these soundtracks are like some of the best things I've had.
Who did he let take over Kill Bill? Was it RZA?
RZA did the sound effects.
Yeah, and
slicing.
like letting him like take over that stuff.
Shit, he got RZA in the film.
It was freaking amazing. It was so good.
That was his first like foray in Ghost Dog was before Kill Bill. Never mind.
Yeah, Ghost Dog.
Jim Jarmusch got him. You can't give Tarantino credit for RZA.
Yeah, no, and even in Pulp Fiction, I don't know about I'm not sure about any of the other ones, but Pulp Fiction, the only soundtrack is just these selected songs. So
I was about to say that. He
no
never
music
used
cues.
a score.
Yeah, there's no cues.
Jackie Brown
nothing.
has
It's dry dialogue until the
it's
song
pop
comes on.
songs.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
it's
score
great.
until Hateful Eight. I think was the first one to use an
Hateful Eight.
original score. Because he would recycle scores sometimes. Like Jackie Brown in some scenes has the Roy Ayers score from Coffee.
Yep.
Which again, a tribute to
Django.
Ken Greer. And all that. Well, yeah, that's shit from the old
From the original Django.
the Frank Nero stuff.
Yep.
Francone. The in Inglourious Bastards, I know he uses music from Cat People and the.
So you're saying Hateful Eight's the first original score?
Yeah,
Morricone.
Yeah.
Morricone.
I just call him Morricone. It
Morricone.
sounds more.
Morricone.
I like to pretend I'm in The Godfather when I discuss composers.
So do you think he's gonna stop at 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
I think he's going to keep doing other things. I mean, he already did like a whole first season of Bounty Law.
What the heck is Bounty Law?
That Once Upon a Time show with
I'm
Leo
not a fan.
DiCaprio. I mean, well, he did a Bounty Law like 6-series thing or 6-episode thing of it. So
I haven't
think
seen that yet.
He wants to do Star Trek, or he may or may not. But I mean,
He's always wanted to do Star
gonna
Trek, and
keep
I've been
doing shit.
waiting for it for freaking years.
I think it's important to him. To
I'm not,
end
because
on
then that
this
would mean
10.
I'd have to start watching Star Trek.
Well, just watch Star Trek.
That's a lot of shit. Because you know I'm a completist.
You don't have to
If
go
I was
all-
like he's gonna do a Star Trek movie. I can't go in.
So you know
I gotta watch like 18 series.
What?
You're talking about what the original series,
I'm talking about I'd want to know
then the Next Generation, which is 7 seasons.
That's what I'm saying. It's
and then
daunting. I don't
and then
want
Deep
him to
Space
do it.
Nine, which is 7
I don't want him to
seasons,
do it.
and then Voyager, which is 7 seasons.
Well, for his 10th movie, if it could be any
Hey,
genre, what would you want it to be?
Sci-fi
I don't care.
Horror?
I just,
or horror would be cool. No,
I think he
I've
said
seen
he
enough.
wouldn't do horror.
I've seen enough of that. I've seen enough gore in his movies.
Well, he said that I think he was talking about The Exorcist. He was talking about like he could never make that movie because he would basically throw in comedy.
Yeah.
His writing, he just said I wouldn't be able to hold that level or something to that effect. I don't know.
That gore, I'll tell you what. We just for a second, we watched Hateful Eight and Django Unchained kind of back to back, and they were made or released back to back. Those squibs that they use and those people when they're getting shot, dude, it's like a blood explosion.
Apparently, it hurts like hell.
It is insane. Like normal ones are just little like pops, a little blood comes out. Like these things were like huge.
And who uses squibs
It was
anymore?
It was insane.
Since digital,
But
it's all blood's all in
It's
post.
so gory. Like Django Unchained, these dudes are just like exploding. Like blood's just spraying out of them. It's insane. It's awesome.
To my answer to your question, though, definitely he's going to stop at 10. I don't even feel. I even feel like Once Upon a Time. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah.
You did. I mean, I felt like that was almost him, like the Rick Dalton character of not fitting in. You're out of your prime. It's coming to an end.
But each one of his movies keeps making more and more money.
They do. Even Once Upon a Time.
He's getting more and more popular. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I don't think that matters.
Okay. Not to him. I mean,
I think that I think what matters to him is film. Everything's digital now. Movies are changing.
It's not cinema anymore.
no.
It's not. I mean, I know.
It's not cinema anymore.
We're not. I know we're joking.
Fuck
but
you,
honestly,
MCU.
No, and not even a
Everyone
Marvel
with
thing.
Black Panther
Not
3.
even a Marvel thing. I think he sees the writing on the wall, just like a lot of people do. That
Like
look,
Scorsese.
yeah, it's
Well, it's a machine. It's just a machine now. It's just
Yeah, but I'm talking about even people's attention spans. I don't think in 20 years, like the way we YouTube social media, I don't think a 2-hour format is gonna fuck. People don't even.
No,
read,
it'll be an hour.
People don't even
It'll
read
be an
the
hour.
scenery.
It'll be a
And that's what I'm
TikTok
saying.
movie.
yeah.
Literally,
TikTok.
Literally, it's not celluloid anymore.
TikTok movie.
You pay $30 to walk into a theater, watch a 5-minute TikTok.
Theaters won't exist.
What is that new-
Theaters won't exist in
No,
like
they
10
won't.
What is
years.
that new platform? Movie? It's like there's a new platform that is coming out for your phone, specifically designed to watch whatever these shows or movies are.
But
watching.
this is why
it's specifically for your phone. Like it's to
Yeah.
watch them streaming on your phone. Like they don't want
Who
you to
wants to
watch it
do
on your
that?
TV. It's for your phones, movies and shows. That's like the whole concept.
Our
Like,
attention
that's fucked
spans
up.
as a
Like,
species
I'm
have
done.
literally gone down. We literally have changed the way our reading patterns have changed in the past 20 years.
Yeah, we're done.
And it's gonna bleed over. I mean, that's what America is. We go to convenience over.
Well, we're
everything
still-
else.
us
It's
three
the
are still-
McDonaldization of
Yeah.
society bullshit. You know?
well, the three of us are still young enough to where we can adopt these new technologies, but like, if you're like 80 right now,
And
you're done. You're
and
done.
the reason why I say it'll stop at 10 is, I mean, this man doesn't even use email.
That's insane.
He listens to records.
Yep.
He's a
Well, bro,
fucking
listen to
he's
the
a
records.
geek.
He's a relic.
He's a relic.
He is in a way, and he knows it. That's why he says he's gonna write. He'll be a writer. He'll
Do something. He's gonna do
It's just I
something.
don't think he'll do feature films.
Okay.
you know?
Do you like feet?
No, not really.
I love feet.
Nah.
Not that way. Not to look at. Not to stare at.
You
I
know, like
mean,
I don't get the
watching
foot
big toes
fetish.
wiggle.
Thing.
No?
Uma's feet in particular. Those weren't very.
Margot Robbie's feet.
That was a step up.
That was a step up, big time.
Pun intended. Step
Yeah.
up. I can go for some Margot
I noticed
Robbie
that right
feet.
away. You know, I was like, man, feet are back.
Oh, every fucking movie. I'm surprised there was like no females in
I love the
Reservoir
credit
Dogs.
scenes
I'm
in that
surprised there wasn't just like one after credit
credit
shot of a
It's like
female.
Just literally her foot, just like doing this, just wiggling
Stuck in the middle
around.
of you playing or something.
I don't. But see, that's one thing I really love about him is he's not afraid to show you his fetishes.
Which
Over
kinda
and
goes
over
back
and over
to
and
the
over. I
pop
know,
black
I know.
culture thing, you know,
Yeah.
and that's how it always came across to me. Is like it's a infatuation, like a love. Like I said, it is ignorant in the true definition of the
big
term,
time.
ignorance.
Yeah.
but it's not hateful. It's not. It's coming from a place of adoration.
It's not hateful eight.
Not hateful hate.
Pretty
Okay,
good.
last question. Last one. For someone who loves Tarantino films, is there another director, because he's going to be done after 10, like you guys said, that you would recommend people to get into? Similar style. Because there's going to be a void.
Does it have to be like any era?
Yeah, any era. Because there's going to be a void, and there's going to be people looking for Tarantino-esque type movies to watch.
So just movies.
Yeah,
Not
movies. No,
filmmakers.
no.
I mean, I don't
Filmmakers, TV shows, anything.
I mean,
You can list them off.
Yeah, Tarantino himself, he always champions the stuff he loves, but there's a great film from the 70s called Switchblade Sisters that he actually, I believe, redistributed in the late 90s. That's how I seen it. And
When he bought it and
Yeah.
sent it back. Wow.
it was like a short-lived period in the late 90s. He actually called it Rolling Thunder. And actually, Rolling Thunder, he named it after a movie. That's a great movie also from the 70s. I would recommend if you like Tarantino.
So you said Switchblade Sisters.
Switchblade Sisters. It's a story about a female gang in the inner city, and it's kind of like Hands on a Hard Body. For those listening, we had just watched this prior to the podcast. Whereas, and even Tarantino described it like this, which I completely agree with him. It's one of those movies where you start off, you're laughing at it because it is a cult. It's cheap, you know. About 15 minutes in, you start laughing with it, and you're liking the characters. I kid you not, by the end of the movie, you're into it, and you're like caring about what happens to them and all that. It's a great B movie. It's fantastic. I'd say Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, a car exploitation film that's very Tarantino-ish from the 70s. Yeah.
I also like Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. Is that what you said? I also like that one.
Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry.
Is that how I said it?
He said Dirty Mary Crazy Larry.
No, I just can't think of anything to say. I was trying to think of. I mean, he's such an original to me. There isn't any director or anyone that I've watched where I would compare him to or say, oh, if he was gone, this is the next Tarantino. I mean, there's plenty of directors I like, but all of them, most of them are for different reasons. I feel like he fills that certain unique void.
Yeah, I always looked at Tarantino as a DJ. And he takes like other genres or like movies like I just mentioned, and then he kind of blends them all together. He scratches them up and puts, he's like a DJ in a sense. So like if you like you said, if you like Kill Bill a lot, maybe I'd recommend, I don't know,
some samurai movie or something.
Leone, spaghetti western or something. Or
okay, so
if you really like the Reservoir Dogs, go shit. I don't know. I can't think of that great writer's name.
Oh, shut up. So, this our first podcast about Yeezy was actually pretty freaking popular. I think the third most popular.
Third most popular?
Yeah, third most.
Did it take explosions?
Well, I've done 32 of these.
All right, well, who beat us? I mean,
Cats beat you.
Cats beat Yeezy?
Cats beat you. And how to make an IKEA bed, that beat you too.
There's bots. There's bots clicking on that one. I bought a bunch of accounts.
So I know people are going to listen to this. So if you don't have someone to replace Tarantino, how about who you're watching right now that you're really excited about, or someone from the past? It doesn't matter. Any filmmaker. I'll just say Zhang Yimou. If you haven't seen anything from Zhang Yimou, get on it now. And
I'm just getting on that thanks to Raise the Red Lancer. I've only seen that in Shadow. I wasn't that
Red
big
Sorghum.
on Shadow. But Raise the Red Lancer was incredible.
Yeah.
I'll say Fulci.
Okay.
Great Italian horror director. Go with his big three. Go with Zombie, The Beyond, and House by the Cemetery.
Nice. I haven't seen any of those.
Those are fucking sweet. Dude.
Really?
And late 70s, early 80s, Fulci, classic. And then I'd say I'm gonna go. I have to mention is I watched Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl. And no, dude, I am getting into this genre of Japanese splatter gore films. This movie was fun.
This sounds like 90s. Is it 90s?
Nah, it came out
splatter gore.
Yeah. No, this was 2013.
Really? I'd never heard of that when I was in Japan.
But I'd only seen that in Machine Girl so far.
Okay. And Machine Girl.
Machine Girl's awesome.
Good lord.
This was
that movie.
This was better than Machine
Girl. This is better than Machine Girl?
Yes.
Okay. I'm watching this too.
Be prepared. There is some
I'm good.
There's some offensive shit in it.
I'm used to it. It's fine.
All right.
How about you, Matt?
I don't have anyone cool to recommend. I don't have any Fulcis or Zombie Chainsaw Girls or whatever.
Or Machine Gun Girls?
No, I mean, there isn't anyone interesting. I mean, anyone I would say is anyone's ever heard before. I don't have anyone interesting.
You'd be surprised. A lot of people don't know.
A lot of people aren't like us. A lot of people are going to say.
All right. Well, if I'm thinking of people that have released a lot of really great movies that I've also enjoyed lately, Inarritu. I mean, The Revenant, Birdman. I mean, 21 Grams is top 5 films of all time. But I mean, he's amazing. He's excellent. Excited for whatever he puts out next. Alex Garland.
See? Half the people listening to this have no idea who that is.
Well, we watched Annihilation, which is another kind of controversial movie night movie. But Annihilation is an amazing sci-fi film, and so is Ex Machina. He's about to put on a TV show called Devs on Hulu with Nick Offerman, which looks so.
Oh, he grew his hair out.
So wild. It's gotten amazing.
So you can join.
Insanely good reviews. So I think
you can join the Devs.
He's another interesting. And even somebody like Christopher Nolan with this Tenet movie that's coming out, he's obviously a big name, but I think the thing that I like about some of these guys is that they're still putting out original stories and they're getting good budgets for them and they're all interesting things. It's not remake, reboot, and even superhero. I mean, that's all of these things is all you see. It's another superhero you had never heard of, or it's some remake, reboot, rehash. These guys are putting out original stories that are all really cool and really well done.
True.
So
I want to throw out Waititi.
Yeah, him too.
Oh,
He's
freaking
solid, man.
I haven't seen Was it JoJo?
I saw it. It's fucking really good.
Yeah.
Really?
Really good. Just like what we do in the shadows, Jojo Rabbit.
What We Do in the Shadows.
The only movie
humor.
he does, and he's got a great heart and all. And Jojo Rabbit's right up there.
I'll say, so if you're listening to this and you don't like comic book movies,
I was about to say Thor is the only one I have.
Thor Ragnarok is the best MCU movie out there by far.
That's
like
number one.
YTT crushed it.
Like Thor Ragnarok is your number one.
That's my number one
wow.
MCU movie. And then Civil War. No. Winter Soldier. Then Civil War.
Wow.
No. YTT, it's insane what he did with that. Like, he just, like, there was this formula that clearly, like, what's his name? Feige has for these MCU characters in this universe. And he kind of just said, well, fuck it. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do.
Gunn kind of did that with Guardians, though.
I guess so.